and I come from Italy. So
hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I miss you. That's the bathroom. Oh, wait, sorry. You're Julia. Hi. Hi.
Yes. I don't know how you managed to do that. Well, I'm Julia from Italy, and first of all, thank you for being here. And then I wanted to ask you a question, and my question was, which was your favorite episode to shoot, and why, and your least favorite one to shoot, and why?
I liked, for those who have seen season 5, I liked the end because I worked one day. My least favorite was Salvation because I worked 8 days. Just kidding. On a serious note, I loved filming in season 4. I Know What You Did Last Summer, where we kind of see what happened to Sam when Dean was dead. Because it's really tough. We've got 104 episodes now after season 5, where we're working together, we're doing so much together. So it really is challenging as an actor to not work with him anymore. Like we have it's so easy for us to act together that it's really challenging. You really have to push yourself and work really hard to not work with each other. And so that was, I felt I was really challenged. And I worked really hard, so I was really proud of it. My least favorite to shoot, there were a bunch. I know that Mystery Spot was really hard to shoot. And it sounds goofy because it was a funny episode, but my character didn't know it was funny. And so my character had to watch me die a bunch of times. So that's like, every day I was like crying because my brother had just died. I was like, I'd go home and be like, so that wasn't a lot of fun, but that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah. My favorites, I don't know. There's several that kind of stand out to me. I always kind of go back with the pilot, the very first episode, because that started everything. Well, it started everything. It set the tone, the introduction of the characters. I love the way that they introduced the two of us, with fighting in shadows, and then the car, and then everything. So it just kind of really set the tone for where we are today. And I really like that. One that I don't like, even though I liked the finished product, filming there were 2 episodes that jumped out at the end, which is what you mentioned. Was where I had to play both characters. That was just very difficult. And also, what is it, what should never be? Because I had to go into this different world where he and I didn't have that brother connection. We were like 2 brothers that didn't really know each other, and so it was actually kind of difficult to play. Because it was like, you couldn't, like you said a minute ago, you can't fall into that rhythm that you normally do when you work with somebody so well. And so to have to fight against all those, normal things that you're normally working with, it was quite difficult.
And sometimes I think I'm sorry to continue, but sometimes it feels like, and we're not, method acting is where you pretend to be your character, no matter if you're cut or if you're sleeping. We're not method actors necessarily, but it's weird because when we have to shoot stuff like that, every now and again, they'll call cut, and then it's like we're gonna have a little break. And I kind of look at the phone, I'm like, what am I doing? It's my buddy Jensen. That's not like Dean. I'm not Sam. It kind of bleeds into, you kind of start acting weird because your characters are acting weird. You're like, what are we doing? We're making a television show. We're playing pretend. And we're in Vancouver. And blah, blah. So
it could put you in a weird mindset.
Put you in a weird fun.
When you're doing emotional scenes or something. I mean, there's been times when, what was he, at the very end when we were up at Cypress Hill, and I was
talking about that,
and it was an emotional scene for me, and talking about how, he's your dad too, and I got emotional in it, and they called cut, and I couldn't stop. I had to just walk down the road, and he ended up chasing me down, and he was like, hey man, you alright? I'm like, yeah. He's like, are
I was talking earlier in my solo about when you talked about what you do now. The question was, how long does it get out of that? It's like, it depends. Sometimes, like you and I both got up and we were like, and like go walk it off and shake it off. So it just depends.
Thank you.
I don't know how we got on that.
Sorry.